Namaskar and welcome to Kalagram. So, we all are going through and passing through a tough time nowadays. Everybody is struggling and coping with the effects of pandemic. We all are witnessing terrible times. Those stories which we used to hear once in a lifetime, or once in many years, we are listening or witnessing such stories every day nowadays. Everybody has some terrible story to share. Each one of us. There's hardly anybody which is left with the effect of this pandemic. There's so much of fear, depression, confusion, pain everywhere. We are observing consciously, subconsciously all these things. But when we come out of the storm, we are not the same person who walked in, and that is what storm is all about. So we need to come out of the storm stronger, more powerful, and healed. So art having this healing power and the power of expression, we have started this series, Relevance of Art in COVID times. So for this, we have a very special guest today. So I would like to invite her here. And today we are going to talk about dance and its effect, like how can this form of art we can help ourselves to benefit the benefits of this. So first of all, I'm going to invite the guest here today, and then I'll introduce a little bit about our guest.
Namaskar, Shikha.
Hi, Vani. Very warm welcome to you. Namaskar.
Thank you.
How are you?
Thank you. I'm fine. How are you doing? These are
First of all,
extremely stressful times. डर लगता है ये सवाल पूछते हुए भी किसी से how they are doing.
seriously, yeah. You're looking very pretty today with this sari and
Thank you.
everything. I just love your look.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Just I
So,
think one of the small things.
yes. So now I would like to introduce, I'll give a brief introduction about Vani. So Vani is a dear friend, and she's an established and seasoned Mohiniyattam dancer. So Mohiniyattam is a traditional dance form of Kerala, and she has performed nationally, internationally in some recognized fest of India and abroad, like Konark Fest and Khajuraho Fest and Ganga Mahotsav. And she has also been recognized by the award called Indira Gandhi Priyadarshini Award and many more. And I think going deeper into dance, she started something very beautiful, which is called Body in Motion. So around this Body in Motion, she is an intensive health and wellness program. She runs all intensive health and wellness programs in rehab for all age groups, and she's also helping people with chronic disease, like Parkinson disease and cancer and sclerosis, etc. And she has also been awarded, or she has also been chosen International MedFit Pro 2020 by MedFit Organization USA, and being one of the country's first cancer exercise specialist. And much more about her. She's a columnist into leading newspaper and publications, and a speaker also. So it's very kind of you that you have chosen Vani to share her experience with us.
हाँ जी।
लाइट चली गई क्या?
हाँ अभी गई है। आधी हो जाने चलेगा नहीं तो
Okay, I think we have lost Shikha because there is a lot of light issue happening in our area. Light is coming and going, and even the Wi-Fi is getting very impacted by it. But till she joins us, I just like to briefly speak about Body in Motion, which is the set of programs that I run, and how these are connected to my journey as a dancer. So, Body in Motion, as the name suggests, is a call out for movement in our lives, because I'm a very firm believer that even not just our physical health but also our mental health is very deeply associated with the state of our body. It is very difficult to say what comes first, like a chicken and an egg scenario, but I don't make this distinction between physical and mental. They're both connected to each other. And the state of our body affects the state of our mind. The state of our mind affects the state of our body. So that is how I came up with the name Body in Motion. But if you just listen to Body in Motion, it seems like only a half-baked name. Actually, the philosophy behind that is that the body needs to be in motion, but the mind needs to be still. And the body can be a very, very powerful vehicle of keeping not just the body moving, but keeping illnesses at bay, and also of calming the mind. I'm good too. So, I think Shikha is back now.
Hi, I'm so sorry. There was power
I
failure
know,
and
नहीं
I
कि
just gone.
problem है आज.
Yeah. So I was just asking. So I asked Vaniji the question I was asking. I was about to ask that, like I heard a very beautiful quote from Vani. It's about body in motion and while stillness of mind. So I wanted to know a little bit more about that. So I
I was
think you
just
have
speaking
already
about
spoken.
that.
Okay.
I'm just
Okay.
speaking
Okay.
about that and explaining to them why I came up with the name Body in Motion. But I'll just briefly recap you on that. That ये सवाल बहुत आता है. This distinction आजकल खासकर between physical and mental, emotional and spiritual. But being a dancer and our culture itself is so seeped in a holistic way of thinking, living, breathing, etc. So, body in motion, like I said, it's a philosophy. The body needs to be in motion because body is a vehicle for not just your limbs. The body is also a vehicle for your emotions.
Right.
Everything needs to be in movement. जब blockage होती है कहीं पे, wherever we feel stuck, whether that's the body or whether that is our mind or whether that is our emotions, problems वहाँ पे ज़्यादातर अधिक आती हैं. And that is why I came up. So it's body in motion means that the body has been designed to move. So move
Right.
the body and use the movement of the body also to get calmness of the mind. Physical, mental, emotional wellness, according to me, are not very segregated or meant to be kept in compartments or meant to be dealt with in compartments. इंसान
Right.
एक पूरी चीज है. इंसान का फिजिकल और मेंटल स्टेट वेरी ऑफन कंबाइंड होता है, उसका इमोशनल स्टेट भी कंबाइंड होता है. So that was the philosophy behind body in motion. Move the body, but still the
Right.
mind.
Still the mind. Okay. Nice. It's beautiful actually. I just love this name and the concept also. And I think
Thank
that's
you.
the basic of dance, like just some delightful poses. We have created dance, and the base was body in motion.
Definitely. So this comes from the exposure to dance. This comes from exposure to the culture of this country. Holistic, like I said, हम
Right.
शुरू से ही holistic हैं. अब हम जाके थोड़ा सा कम होलिस्टिक हो गए हैं. जब दुनिया होलिस्टिक होलिस्टिक कर रही है, हम थोड़े कम
How
होलिस्टिक हो गए हैं.
come?
हमारी लेगेसी बहुत होलिस्टिक है.
True, true. So, अच्छा अभी अब मैं एक थोड़ा सा कोविड से रिलेटेड क्वेश्चन आपसे पूछती हूँ कि the person who is recovering after getting the COVID and people are recovering, so एक तो weakness है और साथ में there are a lot of other things also which are coming, like we are feeling anxiety and other things also. So how can this body in motion help that person? How can we get benefit out of this?
So, see, even the medical fraternity that way is very much in unison about this, and they're equally and forcefully also recommending that once your treatment is over, that phase, whatever phase is required for you to be on bed rest, by all means do that. Lekin even in COVID, if you notice, the 1 minute walk test, 2 minute walk test, आपका oxygen level check करने के लिए
Right.
भी
के लिए
how
test
is
है.
the medical fraternity checking it? They want you to do this little walk in your room in which you're isolated and check how the body's parameters are working. तो movement का need तो वहीं से establish हो जाता है. The only thing you need to be careful about is that because COVID is very complicated and our understanding is very limited, you need to ease back into the movement. You need to ease back into patterns of moving the body so that they become stronger. If you're bedridden for a very long period of time, आपकी complications हुई हैं, what does that mean? उसका ये मतलब है कि fatigue बहुत ज़्यादा set in हो जाता है body में. Everybody is experiencing that. Lack of activity coupled with the disease and what it does to the body generates a lot of weakness in your muscular system, in your cardiorespiratory system. Heart weak हो जाता है, lungs weak हो जाते हैं. इन सबको build करने का एक जरिया movement भी है. There are prescribed exercises by leading medical institutions of the world, what we call, these come in the rehabilitation protocol of COVID. And
Okay.
एज पर मेडिकल एडवाइस आप जितना जल्दी और जितना सेफ तरीके से उसको शुरू करते हैं, उतनी बेटर आपकी रिकवरी होने की संभावना है. Sometimes you have to push a little bit against fatigue to defeat fatigue. ये बहुत काउंटर इंट्यूटिव लगता है. यही चीज कैंसर के साथ होती है. यही चीज मल्टीपल स्क्लेरोसिस, पार्किंसन डिजीज, जो चीजें हमें रिस्ट्रिक्ट करती हैं, sometimes we need to, like I said, safely push across so that the body is able to overcome this new barrier that has got created.
Okay. So, do you have some example or something if I'm feeling weak, but I want to do something, I want to start something. So, what is that first step I should take towards moving my body? Like, I've started walking in my house. So, what else which can emotionally also help me to heal?
You're talking about with respect to COVID recovery now?
COVID recovery, yes.
Okay, so see, with COVID recovery, yes. But the first thing is that even with walking, what you need to do is you need to keep testing and you need to keep strengthening your cardiovascular system. आपके हार्ट और लंग्स की क्या कैपेसिटी है अभी currently और आप उसको कैसे बढ़ा सकते हैं. So deep breathing exercises are
Deep breath.
definitely a very, very strong foundation.
Okay.
You need to first start with your deep breathing exercises, जो आप लेट के भी कर सकते हैं, जो आप बैठ के भी कर सकते हैं. You don't have to necessarily do it in movement. And this is a progression. You start testing and building on the capacity of your heart and lungs with deep breathing, lying down, sitting, standing, and progressively with movement. And slowly then you will progress to introducing greater time intervals of moving, whether it is in the room or whether it is in the house. Then slowly you will introduce, balancing exercises where the opposite ends of the body move together, because there is also another system of the neurovestibular system जिसको हम कहते हैं, वो भी impact हो जाता है, balance कभी कभी impact हो जाता है. तो हर कैटेगरी में प्रोग्रेस करने के लिए एक्सरसाइजेस हैं. फाउंडेशन आपकी डीप ब्रीथिंग है, आपके योगा की जो डीप ब्रीदिंग है, अनुलोम विलोम है, उसमें एक प्रोग्रेशन होता है, भ्रामरी प्राणायाम है, आप उसको अपनी कैपेसिटी के अनुसार करिए.
Okay. So first is breathing, deep breathing, then a little bit movement, and after that balancing exercises.
हाँ, there are different aspects. Strength building आपको करनी है, आपको balancing building करनी है, आपको अपने lungs की capacity बढ़ानी है, और आपको धीरे धीरे अपना duration बढ़ाना है, because आपका ultimate goal है to come back to your pre-COVID levels of activity.
Right. Okay. So how this is like we're talking about physical activities, and physically or medically we are going through some weaknesses, and after that we are doing some different kind of exercises, and then we are doing it. But emotionally also, we are feeling weak. We have some unexplained fears and anxieties which we don't know from where it is coming from. So how it is going to help us to deal with all those situations?
I am so glad that you asked me this question. So glad, Shikha. And again, I would like to repeat that statement I made. Do not look at movement in a very myopic or in a narrow fashion. Do not treat it as only impacting the physical body. हमारा योगा जो है, हमारी जो डीप ब्रीदिंग एक्सरसाइजेस हैं, वो सिर्फ आपकी लंग कैपेसिटी बढ़ाने के लिए नहीं है. जब आप अनुलोम विलोम करते हैं, जब आप अपनी शांत मुद्रा में बैठ के आप ओम बोलते हैं, आप भ्रामरी प्राणायाम करते हैं, आप योगा के आसन करते हैं, they also work on the mind. The breath works on the body and the breath works on the mind. What happens when a person is getting into depression or a panic attack or is getting into a negative frame of mind? हमारी breathing सबसे पहले impact होती है. We become very shallow breathers. We stop taking in that oxygenation. Even if you were to start, that is why I said the foundation is deep breathing exercises. You will find that it actually helps to wash away a little bit of the stress. It calms you down. It can also help in control panic attacks. And there are two attempts that are happening here, two efforts that are happening here. One is to calm you, and also when you're calming yourself, you're taking in deep breaths. And with that deep breath, what are you doing? You're drawing in more oxygen. More of that oxygen is reaching at the cellular level in your body. Your blood is getting more oxygen. Your muscles get more power. Your body gets more stamina. So these are all interconnected. Even the other exercises that I told you, they're not purely physical. In rehab, there are certain gentle rocking exercises with the breathing that are recommended that can really help in getting the stress levels down. Very rhythmic rocking movements of the body depending upon aapki current capacity kya hai. They strengthen the muscles, they strengthen your balance, they strengthen your nervous system, they also calm, and they also help in preventing panic attacks. So movement should not be interpreted in a very narrow sense.
Right.
Like I said, आपकी body आपके mind के अनुसार चलती है. आपका mind अगर block है, आपकी body उसे नहीं चलाएगी, तो क्या चलाएगा? दो पॉइंट्स के ऑपोजिट साइड्स हैं ये. आप उसको इधर से चलाइए, इधर से चलाइए. बेसिक गोल है कि वो पॉइंट रोल करना चाहिए. Yes.
It's vice versa. Like if we are feeling anxiety and all those things, so we have short breathlessness, and if we just do opposite of it, then probably it is going to help us also. If we start having deep breathing.
COVID times, even before COVID had struck us, कहते थे ना कि if you're feeling stressed, आप बाहर जाओ, आप एक वॉक करके आओ, आप बाहर जाके जरा थोड़ा सा चक्कर लगा के आओ. क्यों? उससे दो फायदे हो रहे हैं. One, because you're introducing movement, You are distracting your mind from being cooped up in one situation. You are getting more oxygenation in your body, and the body will then slowly start helping the mind also become better. You do feel calmer after you have taken a stroll, don't you?
Yes. Yeah, yeah, definitely. So
That is
we have one more question by somebody here, by Gungun Kapoor Saxena. So she's asking how to manage anxiety seen in kids.
okay. See, for kids, this becomes a little bit more challenging because adults have a lot of avenues. Adults बहुत express करते हैं. Children के साथ, the first thing that you need to be very careful about is, while you cannot keep them isolated, you cannot keep them in an ivory tower about what is happening today with COVID. You have to be a little careful about what you are exposing your children to, how much information. Age group के हिसाब से maturity होती है to process information. There is so much we as adults are walking, talking, consuming. TV is on all the time, updates are on all the time, websites पे हो रहा है, friends के साथ discussion हो रही है. Children can imbibe, and children very often do not express the panic that comes in. They don't understand the full intensity maybe of what's happening, but only the negative news and the negative connotations start building up. So you need to be a little careful about monitoring. Second thing, of course, is you need to spend time with children now more than ever in a different way. Online education hai. Online education has become very frustrating for children. For
Yes.
children, adults are feeling it, old people are feeling it. हमारे contacts with हमारे friends टूट गए हैं. Online communication adults करते हैं. Children do not establish that same kind of an emotional rapport that they have when they go to a school. School का सिर्फ एक function पढ़ा लिखा के homework दे के बाहर निकालना नहीं था. You
True,
learn
true.
so much from your peers. So अब
Yes,
parents
yes,
पे वो थोड़ा
exactly.
सा pressure आ गया है.
Pressure आ
You
गया
need,
है.
yes. So I know it is very difficult for parents also because online education हो गई है. लेकिन you need to figure out different ways of drawing your children. You need to watch out for symptoms. बच्चा ज्यादा चुप करके रहने लग गया है, बच्चा ज्यादा disinterested हो गया है. Whatever extent you can manage, curtail that exposure to information. Give them privy, make them more privy to a little bit of a happier outcomes. They need that assurance that things will be in control.
Yeah.
Parents जो देते हैं वो कोई और देगा. बहुत जमीन आसमान का फर्क होता है. पेरेंट्स का कॉन्फिडेंस अगर होता है वो बच्चों के अंदर they are able to sense it. पेरेंट्स में पैनिक, पेरेंट्स में ग्रीफ अगर होता है, पेरेंट्स में कंफ्यूजन अगर होता है, which is natural because what we are experiencing these days is none of us have got this experience on how to deal with it. But we need to monitor our responses. What is the vibe we are giving to our children?
To the children.
So come
And
down to
while
their level. अब तो उनके लेवल पे कोई बात ही नहीं कर रहा है. कोई नहीं बात कर रहा है. बच्चे आपस में मिल नहीं पा रहे हैं. ऑनलाइन सिर्फ जूम टीचर उनको पढ़ा रही है. पेरेंट्स बीच बीच में उनको या पढ़ाई में हेल्प कर देते हैं या इधर उधर की बात हो जाती है. उनके लेवल पे कौन बात कर रहा है उनके साथ? बहुत जरूरत है बच्चों को अब. And I don't mean young children. I'm seeing this even in children who are in their 20s जो अब कॉलेज में जा रहे हैं. Particularly children जो अब बाहर foreign universities. Pressures बहुत हैं हर एज ग्रुप के लिए.
बहुत ज्यादा है,
बहुत ज्यादा है. So I know it doesn't sound like a clear cut solution. And अगर आपको लगता है as a parent कि आप नहीं हैंडल कर पा रहे हैं, my very strong suggestion is please seek help. थेरेपिस्ट्स हैं, काउंसलर्स हैं, आप बात करिए. हमें अपना ग्रीफ प्रोसेस करना नहीं आ रहा है आजकल, तो हम बच्चों को किस हद तक हेल्प कर सकेंगे? मे बी बच्चों को थेरेपिस्ट की जरूरत नहीं है, मे बी हमें ग्रीफ काउंसलर्स की जरूरत है ताकि हम अपने आप को थोड़ा सा सॉर्ट कर लें और फिर हम अपने बच्चों से अगर बात करेंगे तो थोड़ा आई थिंक रिलेशनशिप बेटर हो जाएगा.
that would be a different understanding altogether. We would be in a
Yes.
completely different space. So because
बच्चों को
nowadays,
जरूरत है.
children are not able to go out also the way they used to play with their friends and other things also. So being inside in a house, so what all activities they can do? What do you suggest they can do with their parents, or parents can do with children
See,
around this body emotion?
All children are built a little differently, but I do find that depending upon the kind of space that you have at home, you know, हम बचपन में जो छोटे छोटे I am doing that, my husband is doing that, and my children are not young, by the way. Even with my daughters are hitting 20s now, you know,
Okay.
बैडमिंटन खेल लिया, पुरानी गेम्स हमने खेल ली, sometimes even very senseless chasing around the house, what we used to play in childhood. हमें इतनी स्ट्रक्चरिंग की जरूरत नहीं थी ना, हमने भी तो अपना बचपन बिताया ना, हम अपनी गेम्स क्या करते थे, हमारे पास तो गूगल नहीं था देखने के लिए कि हमें कौन सा खेल खेलना है. आई एम फाइंडिंग दैट लॉट ऑफ पेरेंट्स हैव शेयर्ड दिस विद मी कि जो बचपन के थोड़े से खेल थे, इनिशियली बच्चे रेजिस्ट करते हैं because they say how lame, what is this that you're doing, but be patient. और कुछ नहीं तो आपका मजाक उड़ाने के लिए वो खेलते हैं, बट जिस वजह से भी वो खेले, at the end of the day उन्होंने, you know, they all of you have bonded together as a family. ऑनलाइन गेम्स
Yes.
आई एम नॉट अ बिग फैन ऑफ, क्योंकि सारी जिंदगी तो ऑनलाइन है, अब कुछ तो हम ऑफलाइन करके देखें. Children want to help you in the kitchen. A lot of children I'm seeing, you know, even
Yes.
boys
They
for
are
that matter,
connecting.
who experiment with cooking. Fabulous. If your son wants to do something like that, don't treat it like a very feminine activity. He wants to cook, he wants to bake. उसको आप रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी दे दो कि डिनर आज आपकी जिम्मेदारी है, आई विल हेल्प यू, आप बताओ हम क्या प्रिपेयर करेंगे. सो डिफरेंट डिफरेंट लेवल्स ऑफ एंगेजमेंट कैन कम इन. आपने वो गेम, आपको याद है चिड़िया उड़, चिड़िया उड़ हम फिंगर से खेलते थे.
Yes.
Yeah,
Exactly.
when my nieces and nephews, we were
अभी
all in
कुछ दिन
lockdown
पहले ही I
together.
was playing.
Yes,
हाँ हाँ
it's
हाँ हाँ.
great
Yes,
fun.
yes. हाँ.
So that आप बचपन
And
के
I was playing this
time.
game also with my children yesterday. That you remember that Gitte we used to play with, so a lot of coordination you would be needing for that. So I was just throwing, and I found myself so expert doing that while my children were not able to do that. So that was fun actually, to playing Gitte. And somebody sharing here, Gungun is again sharing here that they've started playing Scrabble. So yes, so we
Yeah.
can play all these things. We can probably make the atmosphere more pleasant, and uh, within the house. And I think we have to bring all those things back, which were not related to Google or online, and all these things.
I was very surprised, you know, हम कुछ गेम्स खेलते हैं जब हम, जैसे आपने नाम लिया अभी बचपन की गेम का, चिल्ड्रन विल समटाइम्स फर्स्ट कॉफ इट एंड से, अच्छा हम पिट्ठू कहते थे, ये इसको कुछ और कहते हैं, यू नो, हम
हाँ.
वो ये तो अपना दे से हम वी कॉल इट दिस, सो वी से ओके लेट्स प्ले योर वर्जन वर्सेस माय वर्जन एंड सी हाउ थिंग्स हैव चेंज. बट आई डू
Yes.
फाइंड दैट हमारे बचपन के ना हमने बहुत सारी यादें दबा के रखी हुई हैं अबाउट आवर गेम्स. आप उसको थोड़ा सा खोलो, आपको भी थोड़ा
Yes.
मजा आएगा और आपके बच्चों को भी आएगा.
Mm. That is also one way to bring action in your body, and everything. You can play hide and seek, you can play all those old games in house, and with children, and adults can participate into that,
Yeah.
and that can
And I
help
do
us to.
find that cooking, you know, because if you tell a child, आप बेटा अब आपने बहुत आपने चेयर पे बैठ गए, आप अब आप एक्सरसाइज करो. अडल्ट तो एक्सरसाइज नहीं कर रहे हैं, तो आप बच्चों को कैसे एक्सपेक्ट कर रहे हो कि वो एक्सरसाइज सुन के दे विल गेट एक्साइटेड. तो whatever makes them active without making it sound like a punishment for them. Shikha, your video is kind of frozen. I can't hear you.
So what else would you like to else can we do to bring more positivity? One thing is, like, we can start with some moments. I was asking, so more serious question I wanted to ask, like the people who are dealing with traumas and anxiety and some loss of some person. So how to deal with that, because it is more emotional than physical. So can body in motion help that also, uh,
Yes,
to deal or to
it
cope?
can. It can, but trauma and grief have to be dealt with in stages. Particularly the kind of grief and trauma that we are seeing now with COVID induced, losing family members, losing friends, losing people that we know. And the more close this relationship is of loss, the greater the grieving process. So there will be and it is normal to have a little bit of a withdrawal phase where you don't feel like moving. Body का अपना ये defense mechanism भी है, coping mechanism भी है. We need to respect every age, every stage of grieving. लेकिन आसपास के अगर if we are blessed to have people around us, they might have a bigger role to play in helping somebody who's grieving move from this phase of being sedentary and withdrawn to a little bit movements, thoda sa interest, taking around the house, taking around activities, and then slowly introducing movement. Whatever movement, I cannot expect somebody who's grieving to break into a dance. Definitely not. आप थोड़ा सा घर के अंदर हिल रहे हो, आप अपना ब्रीदिंग एक्सरसाइजेस शुरू करते हो, मेडिटेशन शुरू करते हो. Meditation can also be done with yoga mudras, can be done with postures. There are multiple ways. So, but the family members will have to play a big role in pulling this person out of it. Movement definitely, but movement will be what really feels good for you at that point of time. See, those who are very used to exercising and those who are used to doing yoga routine every day, they will start going back to this because they realize the benefits that they get from it. लेकिन जिस इंसान ने कभी एक्सरसाइज करी नहीं है, कोई मूवमेंट ही नहीं करी है, आप उसको ग्रीविंग प्रोसेस में ये समझाना कि अब आप थोड़ा हिलो डुलो, that may not be taken very well. So they need to first get active around, start showing a little bit activity around their own home to take their mind off the grieving process, and then start with meditation, any kind of a meditative technique, little movement, stretching is so beautiful to release stress. आप स्ट्रेचिंग के साथ अगर आप अपनी डीप ब्रीदिंग करते हो, आपकी बॉडी को फ्लेक्सिबिलिटी मिलती है, आपके मसल्स थोड़े से सफल होते हैं और आपका स्ट्रेस भी बॉडी से फ्लो करता है. एंड देन फ्रॉम देयर यू स्लोली, depending upon how you are coping and what is your support system around you, you slowly start taking to movement. अगर लॉकडाउन खुल जाता है, हमें परमिशन मिलती है to, yes, the best you can do is maintain a social distance, and if you can go with the person who's experiencing a loss, एक walk करके आप आ गए थोड़ी दूरी से, that person knows कि कोई है मेरे साथ, you maintain all the norms that are there for social distancing. पर वो हमारी situation पे depend करता है ना, अब क्या खुलता है, कैसे खुलता है, हम क्या कर सकते हैं.
True. I think this process will go simultaneously, the healing and the grieving. So we can't ignore this, and we can't ignore this also. This will go
Yes.
simultaneously. I think, and with time, we can come out of it. I think
And now I would say again more
stronger.
so. You see, now I
Than
would
before.
say all the more because of COVID and because of the social distancing and the restrictions. I
So
think if you
we
have access to a counselor who can help you, a grieving counselor or somebody who's trained to help you overcome that grief, that can make a lot of difference. अब हमारे पास ऑप्शंस थोड़ी कम है ना जब तक लॉकडाउन है. एंड ट्रेडिशनली हमारी सोसाइटी इज नॉट वेरी रिसेप्टिव ऑफ पीपल सीकिंग आउटसाइड हेल्प. इट इज टाइम टू लेट गो ऑफ दोज बैरियर्स. अगर कोई हमारी मदद कर सकता है इन हेल्पिंग अस grieve better and get over it faster, by all means one should seek it.
I think for that we must have an acceptance also first, that yes, we are in such phase that we
Yes,
need help right now.
that is what I said. वो
So we
phase है.
have
First denial होता है कभी कभी. लोग तो denial में आ जाते हैं that something has happened.
denial, yes, yes, yes.
Denial. So you have to respect the various phases of grief and gently push through all of them.
Okay, we have one more question by Gundun here. Uh, your views on over exercising. Over exercising, as you said, that we have to keep pushing but safely. So, being in pain, how does one know how much to do and what suits one? Soreness, pain. So, what is the difference?
Okay, so I will answer this in two ways. Over exercising is as not needed and as dangerous as overeating, oversleeping,
Yeah.
overdoing anything good when it is done beyond a reasonable level will start having law of diminishing returns, meaning instead of giving you benefit, it is going to start creating problems for you. So you need to be careful. Basis this answer, how do you know what is enough? Listen to your body. You know yourself the best. You know your capacity the best. You know very honestly, even though you may not admit it to me or to the second person around you, आपको अपनी सच्चाई तो पता है आप कितना पहले एक्सरसाइज कर रहे थे और आप कितना अभी कर सकते हो. ये प्रोसेस है ऑफ बिल्डिंग कैपेसिटी. यू हैव टू go slow with it. It's like weight loss. आप एक दिन के अंदर तो 10 किलो नहीं घटा सकते और आपको एक दिन तो नहीं लगा 10 किलो बढ़ाने में. You repeatedly kept on with your bad eating habits or whatever, and then you landed up with a weight issue. You have to stick with an exercise program or a movement program to see the benefits. Pain is a very good indicator. Now, pain can be because of different conditions. Pain can be, आपको injury अगर हो गई, जरूरी नहीं है कि ये ओवर एक्सरसाइजिंग से इंजरी हुई है. वेरी ऑफन पॉसिबिलिटी है कि आप इनकरेक्ट फॉर्म के साथ एक्सरसाइज कर रहे हो. आपने वो एक्सरसाइज करने का सही तरीका या फॉर्म या पॉस्चर नहीं सीखा है. आप ब्लाइंडली किसी को फॉलो करके कर रहे हो. हर चीज का एक तरीका होता है करने का. ओके, एक उसकी वजह से पेन हो सकता है. दूसरा है कि अगर एक मूवमेंट बार बार करने से आपको पेन हो रही है, यस, दैट इज साइन फॉर यू कि कुछ ओवर हो रहा है बॉडी के अंदर या कोई अंडरलाइन इशू है जो ये मूवमेंट बाहर निकाल के ला रही है. Then you need to be very mindful and cognizant and respectful of the fact, don't do that movement. There are modifications. हम जिसको प्रोग्रेशन रिग्रेशन कहते हैं, आप कोई भी एक्सरसाइज कोई भी मूवमेंट को मॉडिफाई करके कर सकते हैं. बहुत ज्यादा पेन है, अगर इंजरी हो गई है, then for some time you may need to completely rest out that part of the body which is troubling you. ओके, अगर बहुत ज्यादा स्वेलिंग हो गई है फॉर एग्जांपल बिकॉज ऑफ समथिंग, आपके काफ मसल्स में पाँव में अगर स्वेलिंग है और आप अगर एक सिंपल वॉक भी करते हो और उससे आपको दर्द हो रही है, देन आई थिंक इट्स अ लिटिल सिली टू कंटिन्यू टू थिंक कि नहीं एक्सरसाइज अच्छी चीज है, मुझे करते रहना चाहिए. आई थिंक एट दिस पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम यू नीड टू गेट इन टच विद अ डॉक्टर और somebody who can guide you कि ये क्यों हो रहा है मेरे को. फर्स्ट अंडरस्टैंड कि वो अंडरलाइन प्रॉब्लम पेन डिस्कम्फर्ट क्यों हो रहा है. दूसरा, like I said, open your mind to your body. Your body will tell you. Body speaks to you very well.
Yes.
Pushing का ये मतलब होता है. Pushing का I want to clarify this once and for all. You know Newton's law of motion. A body at rest will want to continue staying at rest. बॉडी भी स्मार्ट है तो हमें भी थोड़ा स्मार्ट होना है. बॉडी ने मूव नहीं करना है तो वो आपको कंप्लेन करती रहेगी. बट अगर पेन हो रही है तो यू हैव टू मेक दिस डिस्टिंक्शन कि ये बॉडी नखरे कर रही है कि ये बॉडी सीरियसली कुछ कंप्लेन कर रही है.
आई थिंक जो आपने बताया था some breathing exercise, so those will also make us more aware about our own body.
Absolutely, absolutely.
We can
And
be
simple
mindful
breathing exercises,
and then
balancing exercises.
probably by listening to your body.
Video froze, Shikha. Sorry, could you repeat your question?
Hello.
हाँ,
Am I
आपका video
audible?
freeze कर गया था.
I'm not. No. I was actually from my. Okay. No, I was just a body, and body is the best person to tell us what to do. And after a certain period, if you want to continue with that, I think we need to seek some professional help also.
I would seriously suggest that if
Am
you're
I
a total
frozen?
novice, It always helps to
Avoid.
learn something the right way and do it. Always helps. आपका लर्निंग कर्व कम हो जाता है, आपकी इंजरी का स्कोप बहुत कम हो जाता है, और आपका जो एसोसिएशन है विद मूवमेंट और एक्सरसाइज वो हैप्पियर हो जाता है. Somebody can guide you on how to progress, which can make a lot of difference to your journey. It's like, you know, how we suddenly don't start performing on stage, na? We go basics, हम सीखते हैं, उसको धीरे धीरे करके परफेक्ट करते हैं, तब जाके एक पीस हम परफॉर्म करते हैं. इट्स द सेम प्रोसेस. और बॉडी आपसे रोज बात करती है, रोज बात करती है, दिन में कई बार आपसे बात करती है. आप सुन लो वो आपसे क्या कह रही है.
And start doing breathing exercises, then some take a walk, play with your children, some mutual time together. So, yes, I think we have discussed all these things today. And anything else you want to share? I think we have discussed.
Simple. Keep your life simple. Keep your start simple. Give up perfectionism, I would say. A lot of people, you know, that also becomes an excuse कि या तो मैं पूरा exercise 6 महीने का ही करूंगा या मैं नहीं करूंगा at all. Don't get into that. You know, धीरे धीरे धीरे, slowly, one step at a time आप उसको लीजिए. Everything takes time. Breaking old habits take time. Forming new habits take time. So be kind to
So
yourself.
do we have yes. So do we have any other question from the audience here? So अगर आपका कोई भी question है तो आप please लिख दीजिए. So we can take the questions right now. Otherwise, we can take later on as well, because we are planning to finish it here. Okay. So I think we are done with the questions here. So thank you, Vani, once again coming on this and talking so much as our breathing exercises, and especially I just love the way you've described. We keep on forgetting that. So it is very important to bring it back to our mind कि अब हमें करना है. So thank you very much. हम सबको इससे काफ़ी benefit होगा. बहुत सारी ऐसी चीज़ें शायद जो हम भूल चुके थे, हम उस और also के okay.
Thank you, Shikha.
अच्छा, एक चीज, एक लास्ट क्वेश्चन आया है श्यामला जी से, श्यामला मानिक जी से. शी इज आस्किंग कि हैज वानी जी integrated dance movements to make exercises more interesting?
Yes, of course. Dance is a multi-planar movement. Dance is works at multiple levels. So I take a lot of concept of my choreographies, but I always keep it within the bound of scientific principles of exercising. I do not use dance movements just for the sake of creativity. These are very, very finely tuned and very well thought out for every person for whom these are being given. And I particularly find them very, very beneficial for people who suffer from debilitating health conditions like Parkinson, multiple sclerosis. It may not necessarily even be a movement. It may just be the thought process that is coming from a classical style and the grounding on how to look at movement more holistically. I may still be working with what is considered scientific. You see, when we are dealing particularly with medical conditions, I understand movement is therapy. Movement has to be used as therapy, but it has to be very, very mindful of the challenges of that particular disease. And safety and scientific principles of exercising I like to adhere to them. Within the bounds of those,
Okay.
I definitely get as creative as I can, because I do believe you can't be doing the same exercise the same way all your life. And that is what progression and regression is about also. कभी कभी सिर्फ सोच ही किसी के दिमाग में लेके आना अबाउट ट्रीटिंग मूवमेंट, उनको आप मूवमेंट पैटर्न में डांस का नहीं दे रही हूँ, लेकिन लर्निंग्स फ्रॉम डांस एज एन अप्रोच, व्हाट इज द माइंडसेट दैट अ डांस रिक्वायर्स और क्रिएट्स इन अ डांसर. Why is it that we fall in love with movement, but we are not, our Indian classical styles are not purely physical styles. उसमें तो spiritual element भी कितना ज्यादा है हमारे classical styles में. बहुत learnings हैं उससे, बहुत learnings है. तो जहां जिस हद तक मैं निकाल के उसको किसी को डाल सकती हूँ safely, yes, I definitely do that.
To seek some help from you. So how can they connect with you? Like, what are the ways to connect with
Uh,
you?
well, they can connect with me
So can
through
it
my
shared
website.
on our
They
page
can connect
also?
to my website. They can leave me a message or
Uh,
direct message on my Insta account. If they are on LinkedIn, they can leave me a direct message. They can also go to my
okay.
Facebook page, Body in Motion Facebook page. You can leave me a direct message there, and I'll be happy to help you in any way that I can.
Okay. So we have already shared the links of Avani at our Kalagram page. So anybody who wants to know more about body in motion, they can directly connect with Vani, and she's always there to help us.
To whatever
So
extent I can. And I do want to say one thing, Shikha, before I sign off. This is from experience, because I have been seeing this for more than 20 years now. Most of the people, illness को आप छोड़ दीजिए, बीमारी को आप छोड़ दीजिए, all else being equal, most of the people have aches and pains because they don't move enough. It is not because they are moving too much. It is usually the case that they're moving too little. We are too sedentary in our lives, too sedentary, and very often very chronic cases of backache, neck ache, knee pain, hip pain are related more to sitting a greater number of hours in the day than they are to movement. And many people swear by this, that when they become a little bit more active, their aches and pains start reducing and diminishing very, very fast. So that is something to think about.
yes, that's a good insight. Okay. Okay, thank you, Vani. So for rest of the questions, please connect with Vani directly, and you can ask on Kalagram on this link. Also, we can also direct those questions to Vani. So thank you so much, Vani, for being here
My pleasure.
and
Thank
give
you
your
for
time.
having me. Thank you. And whoever has tuned in, my humble and my sincere prayer that all of you stay safe. And I hope COVID doesn't touch our lives anymore. I think we've all collectively, individually suffered enough. And I really hope that this passes, and this is just one memory that is left in our lives, and we are able to move ahead with it.
True, true, true. I just wish that happened.
Yes.
Amen. Thank you, Vani. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you. Okay, so I'm removing somehow. Okay, I think this is not working. The switch is not working, but it is fine. So we will just end this live session now. And thank you everybody for watching. And I'm hoping that you all can get some benefits out of this conversation today. And we would be coming with more such sessions with other forms of art also in coming weeks. So please stay in touch with Kalagram. We would be sharing some lovely sessions also in the coming weeks. So I am hoping that we do not have to suffer more and we can be out of this pandemic very quickly. Now we have vaccines also, so we have enough support also. We are just hoping that we can be out of it as soon as possible, and that we can be in some better space. Now, thank you so much. Take care. Sending you lots of love and healing. Thank you so much.